find myself in today's times? I think this is the best time for women to be in India. We have been progressing. We have been looking at women who can break the glass ceiling, women who have been given wings to fly, who have been given the encouragement to dream big. And we have been focusing a lot on women education and telling them that this is your time, so move ahead. There's nothing about a man or a woman. We're talking about gender equality. And most of the people agree to that it's important for women in today's times to follow her.
That have to do with social media? Because do you think women are finding more voice because of multiple platforms that they can be on and perhaps be themselves?
Yes, social platform does give them the opportunity and the platform to speak their mind, but I think social media also has a section which does not allow women to speak. They try to women, actually troll them and put them and say that this is where you belong to. You're not supposed to speak your mind. So you have a section of that when we see
but you have put trollers in their place.
Yes, we do. There are times where there are some people who understand the language they speak, and you need to speak to them in that language because उनको दिखाना पड़ता है यार सिर्फ आप ही वो भाषा नहीं बोलते हम सब वो भाषा बोलते हैं, but we choose not to speak that language because there's something called grace and there's something called upbringing that we all have. So we don't speak that language.
Recently, you had spoken about being sexually abused by your father. Why did you choose to speak today? Of course, it's for any woman to decide when she wants to talk about these issues. What made Kusghbu Sundar come up with that very, very personal story at this point?
It wasn't about a point. I think it's been there with me. Like I said, it stopped when I started revolting against my father, age of 15. And I think all these years, I'm 52 today. So all these years, it has been in me. And trust me, anybody who's been through kind of a sexual abuse, it remains very heavy in you. And I feel so light, I feel so comfortable that it's finally out. You don't feel that you're carrying a burden with you. And I think now is the time when we need to speak. अगर आज नहीं तो कब कब्र में लेके जाएंगे हर चीज़ अपने साथ. So I think you need to speak out. Women need to speak that what they have been through. I am late. Probably during my time, I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the support system. I didn't have the laws. I didn't have the POCSO. I didn't have NCW. I didn't have any of the kind of social support in the society what you get today. And of course, there was a lot of responsibility on me, which probably did not allow me to speak. But this is something which was within me, and I thought if I can help a lot of women to speak what they have been through, because you spread a lot of awareness, you tell people that it's okay if we have been through this kind of an abuse, because you don't have to be ashamed. You know, the problem is most of the women, they don't speak about it, because the first thing they ask is, what did you do to go through this abuse? And I think that needs to stop, because women do nothing to go through the abuse. They just abuse. They think, there are a lot of men who think that it's their birthright to abuse women. They think that it's perfectly fine to abuse women. And they think it's my patriarchy mindset where I'm going to abuse women. You're a woman, so you have to be under me and I'm going to abuse you. And I think it's very important for women to stand up against the abuse they've been through and say, I'm not ashamed for what I went through. I want to shame the person who has done this to me. And that is what is important.
And how much of that are you implementing in your new role as National Commission for Women member?
See, I think NCW, when you look at the success rate of NCW, we have been doing great. And in fact, you know, what I go through when I go through the history of NCW, I've just assumed the office. But when you go through it, I think in 2021, we had the maximum number of cases in like almost 27,000 cases we had. And